You're at that coffee shop again, checking your phone every 30 seconds. Your last text was read 3 hours ago. No response. The harder you try to connect with someone you're interested in, the more they seem to slip away like water through your fingers. This isn't just about dating. You've probably noticed this pattern everywhere in your life. The job you desperately want never calls back. The friend you keep reaching out to grows distant. The relationship you're clinging to feels more strained each day. There's something deeply uncomfortable about this reality. Your brain tells you that effort equals results. Work harder, try more, show more interest, and you'll get what you want. But human psychology operates on different rules than your spreadsheets at work. Think about the last time someone was overly eager around you. Maybe a colleague who kept asking to hang out, or someone who texted you constantly after one good conversation. How did that feel? Probably suffocating. You might have liked them initially, but their intensity made you want space. You become what psychologists call outcome dependent. Every interaction carries the weight of your hopes and fears. You're not present in the moment because you're calculating how to get the response you want. People sense this immediately, even if they can't articulate why something feels off. Robert Cialdini writes about this in Influence. When we appear too available or eager, we violate the principle of scarcity. Things that are easily obtained feel less valuable. But here's the twist that most people miss. This isn't about playing games or manipulating others. The real issue lies deeper. Your desperation comes from a place of emptiness within yourself. You're trying to fill a void through external validation. When someone doesn't respond the way you hope, it confirms your worst fears about yourself. You're not enough. You're not worthy. You need their approval to feel complete. Alfred Adler understood this dynamic well. He believed that much of our behavior stems from feelings of inferiority and our attempts to compensate for them. When you chase someone, you're operating from a position of perceived weakness. You're communicating that they have something you lack. Consider Marcus Aurelius and his thoughts on attachment. The Stoics taught that suffering comes from wanting things to be different than they are. Your pain isn't really about the other person's response. It's about your attachment to a specific outcome and what you think that outcome means about you. The person who doesn't chase has something different. They have what psychologists call secure attachment. They enjoy connection, but don't need it for their sense of self-worth. This creates a paradox. The less you need someone's approval, the more likely you are to receive it. Watch how this plays out in your own life. The friends you feel most comfortable with are probably the ones around whom you don't feel the need to perform or prove yourself. You're relaxed, authentic, present. That energy is magnetic because it's rare. When you chase, you're offering your power to someone else. You're saying, "My emotional state depends on your response." That's an enormous burden to place on another person, and most people unconsciously reject it. The solution isn't to become cold or indifferent. It's to build a life so fulfilling that other people's responses, while nice, aren't necessary for your happiness. This sounds simple but requires deep work. Start by examining what you're really seeking. Is it love, validation, distraction from loneliness, or proof of your worth? Most of the time, you're trying to get from others what you haven't learned to give yourself. Brené Brown talks about this in Daring Greatly. Vulnerability requires emotional self-sufficiency. You can only truly connect with others when you're not desperately needing them to complete you. Practice sitting with the discomfort of not knowing where you stand with someone. Notice the urge to text again, to clarify, to push for a response. Feel that anxiety without acting on it. This is where your freedom lives, in the space between impulse and action. Fill your life with activities and relationships that energize you regardless of romantic outcomes. Develop interests that make you excited to wake up. Build friendships that remind you of your worth. Create goals that depend only on your effort, not someone else's approval. The person who runs when chased isn't necessarily rejecting you personally. They're often responding to the energy of need itself. Desperation has a frequency that most people instinctively move away from, while contentment draws others closer. You don't need to play hard to get. You need to actually become someone who has gotten themselves. Someone whose happiness doesn't hinge on external validation. Someone who can enjoy connection without needing to control it. The beautiful irony is that when you stop chasing, you often find that the right people start moving toward you. Not because you're playing games, but because you've become the kind of person who creates space for authentic connection rather than demanding it. Your worth was never determined by who texts you back.